Can you just kind of take us through a little bit of your expectations and kind of anticipation for the season? And you get started here pretty quick.
Yeah, we actually leave this Thursday, so going out to Florida. Hopefully the weather's good there. It looks like it's going to be good. Expectations for the spring are high. I expect us to play well. We were young coming into fall. We needed to progress, and I think we have been. We also added Mads Roddick, who's a transfer student from New Mexico Junior College. I expect to make an impact right away. He's traveling with us to Florida, and so the spring schedule is a little bit easier than the fall schedule. The fall schedule was really tough, but the spring schedule, I think, is going to allow us to have some really good finishes and build some confidence going into conference.
That was kind of my. How did you build the schedule? With this group, and I know you got the transfer a little bit later, so you didn't know you were going to have it. But how did you kind of build this schedule for the season?
Honestly, I try to build a schedule as hard as I can every year. I'm a big believer in having as tough a schedule as possible because conference regionals, nationals are just extremely tough, and I want my guys to be ready. And so I think having a schedule that we've prepared does that for us. In the fall, it just worked out that it's a little tougher this year, but in the spring, it's a little bit weaker, but it's still a very tough schedule in the spring and very good golf courses that'll help us prepare for championship play.
When you take a look at some of the things you did in the fall, who are some of the players, some of the golfers that you can think may have a very, very good spring for you right now, just based on what they did?
Well, one's sitting right next to me. Yuri Zuzka. He's poised to have a great spring. He's playing great golf. He had a pretty good fall. He's trending in the right direction, but he's just a great player. He's a guy that's going to play on Sundays in the future, just like Matty Schmidt is right now. He's got all the talent in the world. He does everything right. He's my team captain. He's just set to have a really good spring. He's not only going to play our schedule, but he's also playing a PGA Tour event in March in Puerto Rico, and he's also playing a Korn Ferry event in Alabama in early May, in between conference and regionals. So he's got a big semester this semester, but he's perfect for the job. He's been playing for this position his whole college career, and he's right where he needs to be.
And when you take a look at it, when you first got here, obviously maybe you didn't expect to be where you're at now as far as recognition and acknowledgement. Just talk about the ride to get it where you're at so far.
Yeah, I might have not expected to be here. I was hoping to be at a point that I am. But yeah, my first couple of years where, I kind of felt like it was just, I was just doing me. It was all about me. But, being longer in the program, I kind of understood that it's not just about me. It's, we're here for a bigger thing. And so, the last 2 years I've been kind of leading the team with coach. And so I kind of understood the bigger role of what's really going on here. And so, alongside of trying to work on my game, I'm also trying to bring this team together, and so that's been kind of it has been a challenge, but it's been good fun.
Can you kind of take us, like, Coach? So your semester it's a lot. It's going to be a lot. How excited are you for these opportunities? Not only here, but the other two opportunities that you'll get.
Yeah, obviously the schedule is going to be very busy, especially for me, because we're going to play. Hopefully 8 tournaments for our season, but I'm gonna have two extra, the PGA and Korn Ferry Tour event. So I'm very excited for that, just to get the experience to play where I eventually want to play one day. So I'm really look forward to that, and I'm gonna try to learn as much as I can there too.
How did you get in the PGA? Was it a qualifying thing, or is it how did you get into that one?
So I stayed. In the summer, I stayed here in the United States, and I played these events called Elite Amateur Series, which it was 7 best tournaments in the United States, and they had a ranking for that, and I finished second in that ranking, which led me to be qualified for the Puerto Rico Open and Korn Ferry event.
Coach, when you take a look at the ACC, what are some of the advantages and also some of the downfalls of playing in such a competitive league?
Well, the advantages are it prepares you for the national championship. 2 years ago, when we finished 9th at the national championship, there were seven teams from the ACC that made the national championship, and all 7 of them made the cut, which means all 7 were in the top 15 in the country. So very strong conference. It's the same way again this year. Playing conference championship, sometimes I joke, it's actually harder than the regional championship because it's just a stacked field. There's just so many good teams. We're in a great golf conference, arguably the best golf conference in the country. It's an honor to be in the ACC and play against those guys. Some of the best players in the world are in the ACC, so it's fun. It makes the conference championship, though, extremely challenging. You could go there and have a bad week and finish 7th, but go to the national championship and finish 9th. That's exactly what we did 2 years ago. So,
Ryan, you do have some new faces on this team. Kind of you say you leave Thursday. Kind of your thoughts on the lineup and how good is the competition, within the squad.
Yeah, we have Andrew Tan, who's a freshman. He's traveling with us on Thursday, and also Mads Roddick, who is a transfer sophomore. And so they're both new to the program. Mads has been here 3 weeks, and they're both going to be traveling. And so it's a jolt of energy for us, I think, having some new guys in the lineup. But it also shows the competition that we have on our team and the depth. It's good that they're pushing the other guys on the team and pushing these guys up top. It makes us better. It makes us as a better team because that's what we got to be to win.
What has Mad shown you in 3 weeks? And that's quite a that's quite a come in and then travel. What has he shown you in that time?
Maturity. He's a very mature kid. He's old for his class, and on the golf course maturity. He just seems to be pretty polished. We'll know when we get in competition a little bit more. I mean, I've watched him play some in competition, but having him in practice, just a guy that's easy to travel with. He's a lot of fun, getting along with the guys on the team, always does the right thing, highly coachable. I think it's going to be a great fit for us.
Jerry, when you take a look at some of the younger players that come into the team, as a leader on this team, what are some of the things you say to them, do with them to kind of get them accustomed to U of L and grow into the campus?
Yeah, it's fun to see guys being in the same position as I was when I came over here. So I try to kind of approach them in a way that I understand what situation they are in, because when you come to a program like that and you're new on the team and you're young, you kind of have that attitude that you just have to take care of yourself and you don't really see the bigger picture, which is normal, right? So I try to kind of teach them the way that slowly they're gonna try to take over and they're gonna try to lead the team and all that stuff. So I try to give them sort of advices like that, and they're taking it, so that's good.
You're kind of what do you expect from this team, and then kind of from yourself? What do you think this season holds for you?
I hate expectations, so I'm not going to comment much on that. What I'm hoping to is to from all of us to really take the responsibility and to prepare as much as we can and to give it everything we got, because I only have 5-6 months here, so I do want to give it everything I have, and I'm gonna try to make sure that the rest of the team will too, and yeah.
You've had a great career to this point. In order to finish strong, what have you worked on in the off season? What do you feel like you're better at now than you were this time last year?
I think so. Coming from last year, I had a really, really busy season, so I needed to take a little bit break to kind of get away from golf for a little bit. But that also kind of made me work on the mental aspect and on the physical aspect. So I was trying to, improve myself, even though I was not playing much golf. I was trying to figure it out what I can do off the course, in the mental game to get better. So I did a lot of work in that department.
Ryan, what do you think? I won't say, since he doesn't like expectations, I won't say what do you expect from him. But no, what do you kind of see with Yuri from this season and what he can do?
Just be himself. If he's himself, he's going to be a great leader for us, and he's going to play well. He doesn't have to put any extra pressure on himself. If he just goes out there and is Yuri Zuzka and plays his golf game, he's going to be fine. He's going to lead us. We're going to be highly successful. The young guys all look up to him, and I mean. We'll do well. We've got 2 guys behind them, Max Kennedy and Sebastian Moss. They both had 2 top 10s in the fall. I think they're just following in his footsteps, and so he'll just take the lead, and they'll follow, and everything will fall in place.
You mentioned Maddie earlier with having a guy who had a great weekend. What does that do for the program to have someone out there on the tour, but B, you kind of said that this was possible for him a couple years ago, that you thought this was possible.
Yeah, for the program, it's obviously great for recruiting. Especially since Maddie's a big U of L guy, and But for the guys on our team, I think they just see that, hey, I played with Matty every day, and I beat him sometimes, and if he's doing this, I can too. Guys like Geary, it just gives them a little more confidence of the tour just seems like this big sky dream, but when you get out there and you start going to work, you realize these guys aren't that much better than our current guys on our team. It's just a few things here and there that is kind of the difference maker. And Matty's kind of learned that, through his year on the DP World Tour. He learned a lot, and now he's applying it out there on the PGA Tour. And I don't expect him to kill it every week, but you're going to see a lot more like Matty did this last week. He's a guy that's going to play on tour for the rest of his life. He's just super talented, and mentally he has what it takes to make it out there. Thanks. Appreciate it, guys.